felt like two different games, first half and second half. First half, both teams were grinding and having to fight for everything that they got offensively, and I thought we were particularly good on defense in the first half. And then in the second half, it was like we had the brother-in-law act going, I'll let you shoot if you let me shoot. And so neither team could stop the other one. But anyway, I was proud of our guys. I would have liked a lot more stops in the second half. I think long-term we're not a team that can trade baskets with people and expect to win. But I thought our two seniors, Jonathan Milligan and Ryan Luther, were really good today, both of them on both ends. And Parker came in and gave us a great lift off the bench, and that was really nice to see. We've sort of been waiting on that, and so that was nice. And so I thought we got contributions from a lot of different spots, but I felt like going into the game we had made progress this week in practice, and I probably saw some of that progress in the second half offensively. But again, I'm not sure if we didn't regress a little bit in the second half. Saw it in the second half offensively. Not sure if we didn't regress a little bit in the second half defensively, though.
Millie had talked about how one of your messages to your guys was for them to practice or to play like they practice. Sorry. What do you typically see from your guys in practice? Because we've seen a team in 6 games. I mean, what do you
They practice with a great deal of energy and enthusiasm and intensity, and all things that are good. They've been a very, very good practice team, and you just don't understand it when you play so hard in practice and you go in a game and it's like you don't compete as hard in the game as you do in practice. And we've only had that really happen one time, but I just told them today, let's not make the mistake of having played harder in practice than we play in the game. The game is when you're supposed to give the very best that you've got, not that you don't try to give it in practice. But and I thought we did that. First half, I thought we were really, really locked in defensively, and so again, as I continue to say, we're a work in progress, but they're making progress, and I'm proud of how hard they're trying to do what we're asking them to do.
I know that's not the biggest lineup you're going to face probably, but it was good to see Ryan, dominate against some guys inside and put up a lot of points, get to the rim.
Well, Ryan's a good player, and we're trying to put him in spots where people can have difficulty with him, and he's got great touch, and he can face up and play off the dribble, and he can shoot it from 3, and he's a good foul shooter. I mean, there are a lot of things he can do offensively, and so we just need to keep trying to expose that when we can and take advantage of that when we can, because he's just a guy that we're going to have to play through to some degree because of his ability on the offensive end.
It was a step forward for Parker in terms of kind of getting out of his slump a little bit. What's gone into, do you feel, to him kind of staying composed and keeping his head on straight when his college career hasn't really gone right?
Well, he didn't play much in the last game, and I think 2 minutes, and I told him, I said, I don't care what's going on with your shooting, but you can always play with energy. You can always give energy on the defensive end, and I thought he played his butt off defensively today. I thought he was really, really playing hard defensively, but I think he started thinking about other things other than just his shooting. But Parker's one of those guys that you'll never ever really know what he's thinking unless you ask, because he's not going to tell you. And he's very quiet, but I thought he played with a great deal of energy today, and it was, like I said, it was nice to see him jump up and make some shots.
Is sticking to shooting threes something that you've kind of instructed him to do, or?
Yeah, because that's his way that he's going to help us. So he needs to. Not only does he need to shoot them, he needs to make them.
Coach, tell us how much of a workhorse Jonathan Milligan was in the 29 minutes that he played today.
He was very good. I mean, Millie's, he got behind him and got some layups, made his free throws, took care of the ball, played solid defense, and so. But there are some things that concern me about this game today defensively. We're going to have to. But every game presents new lessons for us and for me with this group. So. But Millie he's the ultimate team guy. You never know the difference from Millie if he plays 30 minutes or if he plays 5 minutes. He's a great team guy. He's got a great attitude. He's a great leader, and he's I kind of call him a positive life force. He's just very positive to be around, and just brings energy to everything that we do.
How much improvement have you noticed this year from him? You know, obviously he's playing more minutes, so his numbers will kind of naturally go up a little bit. But from what you see from his game,
he's just more solid. He's more aggressive. He's more certain. He's more sure. He's really good about not trying to do things that he's not good at. He's not capable of. He really stays within himself. Not that he didn't last year, but that's one thing he does well. But he's just been a better presence on the basketball defensively this year for us, and that's really helped. And it gives us an extra ball handler with him and Marcus in the game, so that's also been a positive.
When he plays like 29, 30 minutes like this, is he almost exceeding the on-court role that you might have anticipated him having before the season?
I would say that he's exceeding the on-court role that I would have thought for him before the season, but not once we started playing games, because he showed himself right away in games to be capable, and he's done a great job. Somebody over here is going to ask a question. Go ahead.
Just going to say, Chukwuka, barely 50 minutes the last couple of games. What kind of role has he played in your better play, and what have you seen out of him the last?
He just gives us great effort, and he gives us great effort on the boards. He gives us great effort on defense. He's a shot maker. One of these days he'll stop shooting. He'll stop missing off the back of the rim. Every ball is right on line. Every single ball that he's missed this season has been off the back of the rim, free throws and jump shots. And at some point, maybe if he hears me yell about it enough, he'll make a little bit of an adjustment, and maybe he'll try to hit the front rim. But he's an excellent shooter, and he's going to make them as he kind of settles down and gets into the game. But he just plays with great effort and great energy and great toughness. And so, again, those things have to be rewarded.
Back of the rim shooter, I know some guys are kind of front of the rim ones. Is he usually?
I've never asked him. He just needs to skip the back of the rim and shoot it over the front of the rim. That's I never understood guys that were back of the rim shooters. To me, you look at the front of the rim and you shoot it just over it, but it's closer that way,
Struggled with that a little bit through the first 5 games. What today felt different for you, if anything?
Well, you're right. I haven't been hitting shots how I usually have in the past, and I know I can't, but I really didn't change anything on my shot. I just shot the ball the same way, and I hit them tonight. So
I guess mentally speaking, does it drought like that where you're maybe where you maybe feel like you're doing things right, but the shots aren't falling? Does that weigh on you? Do you second guess yourself at all? Do you maybe overthink things?
Well, after you have a few times like that when you don't hit shots, sometimes it's in your head, but I just try not to think about it too much and just keep getting up extra shots and just keep shooting the ball how I've been shooting it my whole life. So.
Mark, does it get a little easier once you get in a groove and you hit 1 or 2 and you can really get going?
Yeah, I think so. Tonight, after I hit the first one, I was like, okay, I'm all right now. And I just kind of settled in and just shot the ball.
You guys shot 51% from the floor, 60% in the second half. How was the offense getting so many good looks?
We've been really emphasizing execution and making hard cuts and, just doing what we're doing on offense, but doing it at full speed. We got a bunch of young guys, so executing is something that's probably a little bit new, but I think we're getting the hang of it. We've been getting better every week in practice, and it's paying off. It paid off today.
Do you feel that way, Jonathan, defensively as well, especially when you guys were able to do to their guards in the first half?
Yeah, like defense and offensive. I think we've gotten a lot better at ball pressuring, being in the gap, playing team defense, and understanding certain principles as a team. So it's improving, and it's a process, and we're getting better. So it's good to see.
Millie, as of late, you and Marcus have really been, playing a lot together, a lot more. How is it game by game? Does the chemistry between you two kind of continue to grow and form?
As of late, I guess you could say that a little bit in the game, but in practice coach puts us in situations with everybody, so we kind of got a feel for everyone. But as far as in the game, yes, we have been playing on the court at the same time a little bit more, so we're getting a feel for one another.
I would say from a mid standpoint, Jonathan, that you're probably approaching through 6 games. You're maybe close to what you were all of last season. How much more of a comfort level is there for you now, knowing that you have this sort of greater on-court role, and you can really get extended stretches out there as opposed to maybe being out there for a few minutes and then coming off?
For most guys, it probably would be like a big thing, but I'm kind of like, I know I'm here to do my job, so we do get reps every day, and I'm just doing what I do in practice. So.
When you ended up choosing to come back here and finishing things out at Pitt, I mean, was this sort of a role or sort of a niche that you thought, hey, this could be a possibility? Where you're playing for fairly big minutes, you're starting. Is this something you kind of figured could happen?
Nothing was promised to me. Coach told me just like anybody else, I would have to earn what I got. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to just pack up and leave and leave when things got hard. So that's not me. So decided to stay. And I got a great group of guys around me, guys like Parker, who could go off at any time. So decided to stay.
How much does this win mean to you after the debacle that took place in Brooklyn against Penn State and Oklahoma State?
It's a step in the right direction. You know what I mean? We're not going to put too much energy into it. We appreciate wins, but we're on to the next and working hard so we can keep things going.
Really, did this one feel different? You've been here for some Pitt teams that, these non-conference games, this is what the expectation was, go out and win by double digits. Did this feel different today, though, than even in the win you had earlier, where it was never really all that close?
It felt we got a different group, so we got a bunch of young guys, and it felt good to see that we actually played the way we practiced today. And Coach has really been emphasizing that to us that we need to play the way we practice. And we did that today, so it paid off. And it feels good to see that, we're growing. Progress is always good.
Sorry. Parker, how much do you lean on Jonathan and Ryan, and what are they like as leaders for you guys?
We actually, everyone besides those two haven't played at this level before, so we just all kind of look up to those guys, and we see them every day, and everything we see them doing, that's what we try to do. So,
are they guys that talk a lot, or do they lead more by example?
I'd say they lead by example and talking, kind of do both.
Parker, how much did your teammates kind of help you when you were going through the slump, mentally, in order to kind of support you and keep your head on straight?
A whole lot. Even when I didn't hit shots, they would always say, keep shooting. And then even when I wasn't hitting shots, our point guards like him, they would keep passing me the ball, and they continued to believe in me. So, a whole lot.
Last question.
Lehigh had it to 4 with about 3 minutes left, and you went on that run to pull away. What was the key in that last final stretch there?
Stops. Had to get some stops. We struggled in the beginning of the second half getting stops, but towards the end of the game, I think we sat down a whole lot better, and we put out the win.
You've won some of these games against these power conference teams on the road. How much do you use them as a measuring stick to see where your team is, before you get into the conference part of your schedule?
Well, it's a great opportunity for us to step up in competition and play sometimes bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic players. And we've had some success in those moments, but it's almost like a litmus test for us to see where we're at and where we can improve. Because generally speaking, when we make mistakes against teams that are strong teams from power conferences, they can capitalize and make you pay. And it gives us a greater sense of awareness and reality of where we stand.
How much do you feel like this Pitt program's changed since the last time you guys were here 5 years ago?
Well, the result is the same for us. When we played 5 years ago, there was a tremendous amount of physicality where it was easy to kind of get overpowered. Tonight, I thought Pitt did an excellent job of moving players and moving people and opening up the paint. That led to a lot of opportunities for back cuts and layups. that led to opportunities even for dribble drives where they got to the free throw line and scored a lot. So, it's a different style, but unfortunately, in both cases, whether it's 5 years ago, which I don't really remember that much, and right now, we weren't able to kind of muster up enough defensive stops like we did in the first half to carry over for the full 40 minutes.
Is that a guy named McCollum or something like that 5 years ago?
I remember him. He was pretty good.
Based on what you had seen of Pitt on film going into this game, were you expecting that many back cuts from them? Because I feel like just in these first 6 games for them, that's kind of become a pretty sizable part of their offense. But even today, it seemed like they were doing a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, we had expected it. We knew that could be a challenge for us. Unfortunately, we were just a step slow, and the precision and the timing of their passing was very good tonight. It hurts when you give up layups. It kind of blows up your defensive field goal percentage, and we gave up far too many of those. And then Stewart stepped up and knocked down open perimeter shots, and between getting hurt on the interior, then having challenges guarding the three-point line, it led to an offensive explosion for them in the second half where we couldn't really recover. In the first half, I thought we defended fairly well, but we didn't shoot it as well. In the second half, we found our offense at a little higher level, but our defense tapered off.
What does a guy like Luther kind of present as a challenge for a team? I mean, you guys don't play particularly big inside.
I think Luther's an excellent player. He's skilled, he's tough, he can score in a variety of different ways. They have the ability not only to score on the interior with his finishing and his post-up opportunities, but he's also a threat on the perimeter because you have to really extend out. You have to honor him out on the perimeter. And, that additional offensive spacing because of his perimeter ability really plays in well into the way in which Pitt is chosen to play.
Is that one of the things that maybe isn't so much of a thing you can take away because there aren't too many 6'9" guys that would be dribbling outside against you in the Patriot League?
Well, our league is a skilled league, so we do have quite a few players that have that perimeter ability, sometimes not in the complete package as Ryan Luther, but nonetheless, those are things that we've got to adjust to. And, the interesting thing, not only in preparation for a Power 5 conference game, but also our preparation throughout our preseason gives us a variety of different styles that we're going to face. And tonight's another example. We've had styles that are very different than this. And then we throw in this style. And for a team that has a lot of younger players who are evolving and blossoming into new roles, those can be some great learning experiences as well if done properly.
What did you like from Kyle's game?
Pardon?
What did you like from Kyle's game?
Kyle Lefroy? There were some moments where he stepped up and made some plays for us. He brought an assertiveness and aggressiveness to him. We'd certainly like him to be a little bit more efficient with what he does. And between him and Karan Ross, those are two guys that we're really going to lean heavily upon to make sure that they anchor, they communicate, and they solidify our defense.
Are you encouraged by Karnick and what he gave you here tonight, especially going forward in just in 6 games?
Yeah, I was very encouraged by James Karnick. I thought he brought a presence to the game immediately on the glass. And I thought that increased our toughness level, which was really apparent from the beginning, and it helped us establish ourselves defensively because we did not give up offensive rebounding opportunities. And then as the game continued to progress along, he was efficient scoring inside the paint. He brought us an offensive presence, continued on the defensive presence, and on the glass. And I'm really proud of him for that. There's been some games early in the preseason where he's been in foul difficulty, and because of that foul difficulty, it's taken away a little bit of that edge of aggressiveness. But I think as he continues to gain more experience, he'll be able to play more similar to what he had done tonight, and hopefully be able to take another step and continue that process of growth and evolution of a younger player assuming a new role. But to essentially have a double-double against an ACC opponent as a freshman, that's a very promising sign for our program.
Well, why do you think your guys today were better at preventing offensive rebounds than they maybe had been at other points going into this game?
A little bit of it was we contained dribble penetration slightly better. Pitt still was able to get to the free throw line, but when the ball is is penetrated very deep. Everybody's in rotations, and shots can go up on the rim, and there's a lot of easy opportunities to kind of get putbacks. And tonight, we kept the ball in front of us a little bit better off of durable penetration. Unfortunately, it got behind us with our team scheme defense. But nonetheless, I think that helped us a little bit better. And plus, James was actually able to play increased minutes tonight because of being able to stay out on the floor without foul difficulty, which we have lost in some other games.
Any other questions?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Ed.